I'm getting ready to go live right now, sir.
Okay.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Free Texas campaign. Presents Voices from Behind the Walls, y'all. Please share this in your circle of influence. Y'all know I've been on this journey. I'm on this journey until somebody do something about what we need them to address, y'all. There's so much corruption going on in the state of Texas and have been going on in the state of Texas for 3 to 4 decades, and it's time for it to come to an end. Again, I want to encourage you guys, if you are in and around the San Antonio area, January the 3rd, I want you to join me at DNN Kitchen. We will be marching from DNN Kitchen to the City Hall because we are going to rally. We want these people to hear from us, and we are going to speak. Y'all know I'm not going. I'm not gonna stop. I'm coming in from South Carolina, y'all, because I'm not a Texan. But guess what? It was laid on my heart. It was dropped in my presence, and I cannot sit and be quiet. I have to move. I have to be the change that I want to see in this world. So, if you would, please share this in your circle of influence because you never know who may need what is going to be shared on today. Gabriel, welcome. If you would, I want you to introduce yourself and then I want you to share what you would like to share on today to bring some light to your situation and what's going on inside of TDCJ.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Gabriel Ramos. I'm currently incarcerated in the common unit. So I'm innocent, and you're about to hear the story of this corruption, the lies, the threats that got me convicted. On December 28th of 2000, I had a workplace for my arrest in Ramiro Saldana and Mark Alamis. I turned myself in because I'm innocent. I thought, like in the movies, they would investigate my case and see I had nothing to do with it and let me go. But instead, they built a case against me with threats, lies, abuse. They say you're innocent to proving guilty. But down here in Texas, you're guilty to proving innocent. While I was in the county jail, the DA came to visit me, and my attorney came. And he told me that my co-defendant, Ramiro Saldana, had taken a polygraph test and had failed it twice. And he told me if I was willing to take it. And at first, I was scared, But then I thought about it, man, I'm innocent. Why not? My attorney strongly advised me not to. But I've been locked up for months, and I wanted to go home to my wife and my kids and my family. So I took it, and I passed it 3 times. I told the DA, I told him I'm innocent. I said, man, I got nothing to do with this. And as he walked away, he was telling me if I was willing to testify against Ramiro Saldana. And I told him I can't testify or something I don't know about. And he just looked back at me and he said, somebody else does. And I was like, man, So weeks later, I find out I'm going to trial. And I find out that they're going to use Ramiro Saldana to testify against me, even though he failed the polygraph test. So I asked my attorney, man, how can this be? How can you use this guy knowing that he failed his polygraph test and I passed it? And he told me something about, like, in 1985, they stopped using polygraph tests in the courts. I was like, okay, So the trial started. They also locked up somebody else, a guy named Police Santu. He got incarcerated in this case. So when I go to court, Ramiro Saldana testified that him and Felix Cantu went to the victim's home and picked up the victims. And Felix Cantu shot the victims. And they dumped the bodies on the side of the road. So I asked them, well, what do I got to do with this? So they said that I made a phone call to the victim's home. So I looked at my attorney and I said, man, go get my phone records. Get my phone records to my cell phone, get the phone records to the victim's home. So my attorney went and got the phone records. They were presented in court. There's not one single call to or from. I still got convicted. There was another guy by the name of Bert Fortis that was put in the same cell block I was in. He was there for like maybe about 2 weeks. We really didn't talk much, he was just there. He ended up leaving. My attorney comes to visit me. He says, hey, do you know Bert Fortis? And I said, no, not really. He was there. He was, well, he's going to testify against you. He said, did you tell him you did it? I'm like, man, I never talked to him, So, but I come to find out that the district attorney, James Sells, has used him over and over to get convictions. So right now, I'm hoping that Innocence Party takes my case. I've been wrongfully convicted. Also, during my trial, a jury member came out the jury room, and she was like scared, and she said, I'm sorry, but you're you're not getting a fair trial. They already found you guilty. And some lady one of the jurors wanted to go gambling, and she was telling everybody just to find me guilty because she was planning to go to some, I guess, gambling casino, some casino like on a ship. And so anyway, they ended up pulling out all the jurors, and they pulled her out, and she admitted, yeah, I do want to go. I do have plans to go on this trip, but it can wait until the trial ends. But she said she wasn't telling people to find me guilty. So I asked the judge, hey, can you let her go? Let her go gambling. Let's keep this girl, The judge let the juror that was saying the truth about them wanting to find me guilty. And the one that wanted to go to the casino didn't say. I got missed over all the way around. They have no physical evidence, just pure hearsay.
Wow. So are the individuals that actually did this are they incarcerated?
Yes, Tdcj got charged for the murder. He ended up getting a life sentence. Ramiro Saldana got 23 years for his testimony. Well, two weeks after I was convicted, Ramiro Saldana goes to the DA and tells him, hey, we sent an innocent man to prison. The DA said, hey, I got nothing to do with that. We made a deal. So Ramiro Saldana contacted me. He told me, hey, man, I told him, look, if you want, contact my attorney. I'm already in prison. You're in the county jail. So he contacted my attorney, and he wrote an affidavit admitting to committing perjury on stand.
Wow.
So, so now I'm waiting on see if the Innocence Project takes my case. There's another guy right now that the Innocence Project took his case. His name's Joe David Pardon. Some of the same guys that testified against him testified against me. And right now, he's on the appeal bond. And I'm hoping that I'm next. They use the same tactic on him that they used on me. This DA is no good.
And what's the DA's name?
His name is James Sales.
And where did you stand trial at and get convicted at? What county?
In Nueces County, Corpus Christi, Texas. Yeah.
Wow.
This DA here, all he does is give deals. Everybody in my case got a deal. All of them were facing prison sentences. There's other guys that testified against me, and all they did was say that I was a drug dealer, that I was a shot caller, but nothing that really, no physical evidence, just pure hearsay. And I got convicted. I got a life sentence and 65 years for working on crime.
Wow.
I've been incarcerated 23 years.
Wow.
For a crime that's not mine.
So this has to have been hard on you. How has being in Tdcj affected you?
It affected me a lot. I spent the first 8.5 years in solitary confinement because of this case I've had. They're trying to say it was a gang-related case. So in solitary confinement, you don't come out the cell. I was in high security. They got showers in there and everything. You might come out for reg, if they call it. But you're in the cell just really 24 hours a day. And, it affects you, After a while, you see, it affects your mind, But you got to just be strong mentally. I've seen a lot of people, lose their minds and do bad things to themselves because they're just in there with their thoughts.
Wow. So what is your plea today to that person that may be listening that can assist with your case, whether it be the governor, a congressperson, a lawyer, or another community group? If there's someone that's listening today, they can assist you. Well, what would your plea be to them?
Well, I want them to know that there's a lot of people in prison now that are innocent, and they've been sacrificed by the width of the justice system for political reasons, racial reasons, or just to close the case at the cost of innocent people's lives. And we need to be heard. We need help. When we're incarcerated, it's hard to get the outside to help us because we're already labeled. They're reading the book, by its cover without knowing us. And we need people to speak for us. We need people to be our voices. We need people. It's hard for us in here. It's hard for us to get any type of help.
Right. Wow. But this is definitely sad. Um, I won't stop. Like I can't stop. I won't stop. Again, I'm pleading with anybody that has a family member that's incarcerated within the TDCJ. If you are listening, if you hear this, I want you to know that we're going to be on the city hall steps in the parking lot, wherever we can congregate on January the 3rd. We're going to assemble at D&N Kitchen parking lot, and then we're going to march to the city hall. And we're going to be demanding that these people hear us. I'm praying that family members will join me and share their loved one's story, at least a 3 to 4 minute share of a story of what's going on. And then I hope that some of these Congress people, these representatives that say that they are working on things for those that are incarcerated and working on things to rehabilitate the parole board and the judicial system, that they will come forth and come out and share what they're doing. You know, if you are working for the people, like you say you are working for the people, then there should be no problem with you coming and sharing what you're doing for the people so that they would know. So there will be no question about what you are doing for them. You know, this is sad. I look at the lives that have been impacted over the last 3 to 4 decades. No, I'm not even in the state of Texas, and I keep telling these people that. So just imagine if I'm not in the state of Texas. Just imagine who else around the world and around the country that's watching the state of Texas because of what's going on. It is unfair and it's unjust. There is no justice in the justice system in the state of Texas. And all of them need to be held accountable from um, Governor Greg Abbott, Lieutenant Dan Patrick, and Attorney General Ken Paxton, and all these representatives and legislators that have the power to make sure that the laws that are on the books are being enforced. And those that need to be rectified, those that need to be looked at and rewrote, that they need to be rewrote and brought up to date. Because there's a lot of stuff that's out of date. And I will not let this go, because I know that a lot of these people, they are in the money trail. And if you follow the money, you will follow and find out who is really in control of all of this. Because it's a lot of hands involved in this. That's why there's so much cover up. But we need eyes and ears from the outside. I'm pleading for the Department of Justice, lawyers, and anybody from outside of Texas that's willing to step up and be a game changer. That's what we need. We need somebody that's ready and willing, because it's too many lives that have been affected. And this ain't no he say she say stuff. You can go over to the Free Texas campaign and look through the thousands of videos. Those 1.5 thousand videos and clips are of individuals inside of TDCJ. Only individuals inside of TDCJ. So go and listen, and you can hear for yourself. And it's a pattern. It's a pattern that needs to be broke. It needs to stop. And it needs to stop now. So I want to thank you for stopping by and sharing. I'm going to be praying for you. I'm not going to let this die. I'm going to be sharing this across my various platforms. I'm going to be um, getting the word out, and definitely bringing some notice to this. It's sad, and this is happening over and over, and it needs to stop. There's too many lives, too many families been affected by this. So you're not just ruining the life of the inmate, you're ruining family lives. You got fathers that never seen their kids be born because their wives were pregnant when they got arrested or got into this trouble. And they've had kids that had to grow up without a parent in the home. They've separating families and putting extra strain on families that should not be there. because of their zeal, because of their greed, and it needs to stop. So again, I thank you. And if there's anything that you want to say before we leave, the floor is yours. You got it to say whatever you want to say to them, because they are tuned in. They're gonna hear the replay. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, listeners, just fact check. Just check it. It's all facts. There's no everything's there. Like in my case, you can just read my transcripts. Everything's there. Everything's there for them to read. I want to thank you for everything you're doing for us, because we need a voice. We need our voices to be heard through your voice. I just want to thank your listeners and just thank you, and thank God for everything He's done for you.
I'm definitely gonna be praying for you, because this is sad. I just hear this so often, and a lot of people just have this mindset that if someone is in prison, that they did something, that they deserve to be there. Yeah, there are people that deserve to be there, and a lot of them own up to what they have done. But there's so many. There's thousands and thousands of people that have been wrongfully incarcerated, and then even some that have been overly incarcerated. Yeah, they did. They broke a law. They did something. But do you have to take all of their time? Like, some stuff they can rehabilitate. Like, I just don't see how Texas do what they do and get away with it. Because I've heard a lot of these cases, and some of these cases, some of the crimes that these people committed, if they had done it in another state, they would have got probation. They would have been home with their family. They would have been able to still be a productive citizen, and they would have been able to rehabilitate themselves. But Texas don't believe in rehabilitation. They have nothing in place to rehabilitate these people. Yet they show these different programs, but they just in certain places, and then it's limited to what they can get. They good for showing, but they don't show up, and that's a problem. We need you to show up and allow these people to come home. And the overcrowdedness and the short staff can be alleviated if you allow some of these people, some of these inmates that have successfully and are eligible to come home, because some of them have done everything. They've done everything right to rehabilitate themselves, because y'all didn't. But they've done it because they wanted change and they want to come home, because a lot of them didn't deserve to be in there from the get-go. So I'm pleading with you guys. If you hear this, and if you have the power, stand up and do what's right. If you are an elected official, it's your duty. It is your duty to fight for the citizens and to do right by the citizens. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. If y'all would, please share this out in your circle of influence. I have one more interview for today. If you can, stop back by around about 15 minutes. I'll be back. If you would, come back and share with me. Again, I thank you guys for sharing these lives, for tuning in, for commenting, for being a part of what we're doing here to be the change that we desire to see in this world. Again, I am the queen of collaboration, Angela Thomas Smith. I am the visionary of the Crew Podcast, Aspiring Authors Magazine, and I am one of the co-founders of the Free Texas Campaign, where we just desire to see change, y'all. It's time for change. I love you guys, and thank you for all your support. Y'all have a great afternoon, and if you can, stop back by. If not, invite somebody to stop by.